And look who's right in the door. How are you tonight, Kathy? This microphone. Oh, no wonder. I keep forgetting that this one isn't like the other mics where it's got four heads. It's only got two. So you have to talk directly here or directly here. You can't talk here or here. Pardon the beanie, but I just got back from the store and my head is still cold. It's the only problem not having hair. Not to mention, we're getting like wet snow. And I hope it doesn't freeze because I have to go to the podiatrist tomorrow. Goofy weather. Really? You know, like with Cleveland, they tore down all the schools and they built new ones. And they said, well, it was more efficient than trying to revamp the old buildings. I don't understand. But yeah, Cleveland did. They tore all the goddamn high schools down. Well, all the schools, and rebuild them because, well, I take that back. The grade school I went to was the first one they tore down. The new building looks something like, I would say, a goddamn medical, you know, like a group of doctors are in this building. It has that look like it would be a medical facility or something. The junior high I went to, they've left that building alone. But of course, my alma mater, they tore down what looked like a school and built, it looks like a big office building. That's what it looks like when you drive past an office building. And they say, oh, they're more efficient and it costs less to heat them. And what do you think, Ron? I know you haven't run out and tried inflating a tire, but isn't that kind of an impressive looking little unit? What's more impressive is the way it works. I just don't understand, like, all the new buildings that they built, they've got like twice as much glass. Now, how can they say that that's more? Of course, they're probably using that triple insulated glass, but the tear, And then, when they were building the grade school, they brought in, they rented trailers. In the back lot, which used to be the play area, they assembled all these modular trailers, and that was the school for a year. I, I thought Cleveland was just wacky. Now Bedford's getting just as wacky. But they're saying, oh, the buildings are old, they're deteriorating. The sad thing is when they built the new John Marshall, we had a swimming pool. The school had an Olympic swimming pool. Did away with it. Matter of fact, I don't even know if the damn school has an auditorium. Before they opened it, they gave everybody a tour, and I was so disgusted, I didn't bother taking the tour. Now, in a way, I wish I would have, because I don't know what the inside of the building looks like. So Bedford's doing the same thing, tearing everything down and building new. And I don't understand why they really. Cleveland's school system does not have the same amount of students that we had back in, the 50s, 60s, 70s. I don't know. All I know is I when a bond issue comes up for something for the schools, I don't vote for it. And another thing, I always vote for the library and Met Park, because Met Park uh, has taken over the zoo. So anything for Metropolitan Park, I will vote, providing the bond issue isn't, you know. But I'm questioning the thinking at the library, because we had down by the plaza on Pyrrhus a really nice library. It was a fairly new building. Well, new 1980. They built a brand new library on the same corner. They actually built it in the parking lot, and it's, a new modern building, and they needed more room for computers, basically more computers, less books. Now, the building that the old library was in was a perfectly good building. I don't know why they didn't turn it into some type of senior center or community center or no, they tore it down. I even questioned the librarian because I wanted to know why they didn't make use of that building. And of course, you get the old, well, it wasn't fuel efficient anymore. The heating costs were expensive. The lighting costs were expensive. Well, to me, it would have been cheaper to maybe add extra insulation, put in a newer, more modern boiler, LED lighting. Uh, but no, there were so many uses for that building, and they tore it down. And now they have this gigundous parking lot, and rarely are there more than maybe at the most 10 cars in the parking lot when it's like the busiest. No, you build a parking lot for 40 cars and you tear down a perfectly good building. I don't understand it. I just progress. Let's get rolling here. Broadcasting live from beautiful downtown Cleveland. It's station WDWL TV with the Grumpy Old Man, brought to you by Grumpy Vulture Productions. No bow.
But out of that, a new holiday was born. A Festivus for the rest of us.
And the Festivus pole is lit again tonight. I had to go to the store because at the last minute I realized, Boots didn't have delectables. I had to run up and get delectables, cat treats, dry food, and a couple of things for me. Matter of fact, the girl that was ringing me out, she went, "Oh, I see who rates in your house." I said, "Yeah, look at all the stuff for the cat and look at them couple of things for me." Big fat ass. Oh, I could kill him. He wakes up for some reason. And when he wakes up, he has to. I'm like, just because you wake up, you don't have to wake me up. can't yell at him. That's my buddy. The bed hog. Now, he's in the habit. You know, he used to sleep all night along my right side. Now, he sleeps sideways. And then he stretches out and he'll stick his feet in my ribs like, hey, move a little bit. Let me have a little more room. So I move, and then he moves. And I move, and he moves. And next thing you know, I'm right at the edge of the bed ready to fall off. I'm like, will you get over there? And then he'll go in and out. Well, what he does when he wakes up, he opens the door and he goes out in the kitchen and he'll have a little snack because at night he gets his delectables and then I put about half a cup of dry food. So he'll have a little snack, come back in the bedroom. Maybe an hour later, a little snack, come back in. Drives him crazy. I have to check first thing in the morning the tracking number and see how close the new camera is getting. I can't wait to test that thing out. Boy, it better work like it says. Not to mention, next week I have to run over and pick up that microphone too because my buddy's wife is going out of town for Christmas. I'm trying to think when she's leaving. The 20th, 21st, and then she won't be back until either the 4th or 5th of January. She's going out to San Francisco to spend Christmas and New Year's with her youngest sister. And she's 72. I think she said her youngest sister is 60. But they're going to have a big family get together, which is good because this would be her first Christmas alone. Because the only family that is here is her son and I don't know what he's doing for Christmas. All I know is I'm glad that she's going to go out and have a nice 2 holidays. I forgot to watch the festivities today at Pearl Harbor. I don't know if there are any Pearl Harbor survivors left anymore or not. I thought they said that the last survivor passed away early last year. Because when I worked for I worked a couple of years for a private bus service. And the night dispatcher was a Pearl Harbor survivor. I can't remember the name of the ship, but his ship was moored, I want to say, behind the Omaha, either before or after. Because I know his ship didn't sustain really heavy damage. And he was telling me that when the Omaha magazine cartridge, I'll call it cartridge, the ammo magazine for the ship blew up, it shook the ship he was on so violently that him and several of his crew members got dumped overboard. But luckily, where they went overboard, they were able to get back up on the dock without getting, burned, because the fuel oil was catching fire in the water. And then he got back on him and his crewmates got back on the ship because they were in charge of one of the anti-aircraft guns. I'll tell you what, he had some interesting stories about Pearl Harbor. He really did. So last year, yeah, well, I know most of them are well over 100, because you figure even if they were 17 years old when they joined the service, but it is a nice ceremony that they have, because John went out every year, every single year. He flew out. Well, him and his wife flew out to Hawaii for the ceremony. Because he would always come back with a shitload of photographs and but like he said, they were caught off guard. That was a sneaky attack. Because he had photographs that were taken 3 or 4 days after the attack on Pearl Harbor. And man, scary to think of, what happened. Not to mention he had taken photographs that you really didn't see, like on the news or in any magazine. The damage was just unbelievable. It was hard to believe they were able to get some of them ships back together and they were able to go out and fight a war. You know, Ron, I don't think anybody would have wanted to see him there anyway. I'll tell you what, the more I listen to him, the more I think he's got the early onset of dementia. You talk about a guy that talks out of his ass sometimes. Not to mention how insulting he is to reporters. You know, through history, if a reporter asked a question a president really didn't appreciate, they kind of ignored it. Not him. God, the other day he lambasted a CNN reporter because he asked a question that Trump didn't like. And Trump was like, "Who are you with?" CNN. "Well, you got crap news, and you shouldn't even be a reporter because you got hate in your heart, and that's not a job for you and your organization. They've never had good news coverage." And, he just went on and on and on. Then if they piss him off, he bans them from the goddamn Oval Office. Instead of calling it the Oval Office, we're going to start calling it the Gilded Cage. Christ, if he puts any more gold in there, the goddamn walls are going to cave in from the weight. Talk about gaudy, Jesus. I can almost imagine what that goddamn ballroom's going to look like. Not to mention, I don't think he's a veteran anyway. Oh, yeah, he's insulting as hell. Tells them they don't know what they're talking about. And he asks one, where did you get your journalistic credentials from? A cereal box? Here's somebody that went, 4 years of college and did internships at like 20 different news agencies, had a resume, a mile long. Well, yeah, because, the architects are telling them, you can't do that. And I don't want to hear I can't, I can't have this way or I can't have this way. You're fired. Then they get a new group in and they tell them the same thing. You can't build this that way. You're fired. He doesn't like to hear no. But I really think he's losing his marbles, and I cringe to think what the next 3 years are going to be like. Architects know all about, building structure and load bearing walls. And I mean, they know how to design buildings that'll stay together. But if he tells them he wants something done and they say it's not possible, that you're fired. Oh, yeah, he wants it bigger than the fucking White House. We don't need a ballroom big enough to hold 10,000 people that's going to get used 6 or 7 times a year. We're building a ballroom, not a football stadium. I don't know how many times he's wanted them to change the height. How tall do you need the building? 7, 8 stories? Jesus. We didn't need that ballroom anyway. The one we had was fine. What, 100 years old, 150 years old, and it did what it was supposed to. No, he wants the fucking Taj Mahal. And then he wants it named after him. I don't know. It's a ballroom. It's not the Superdome. Christ, he's pissed off enough people, especially when he cemented the Rose Garden in. Oh God. And he doesn't bother to get approval. He didn't get approval to tear down that ballroom and build a new one. He pushed it through. I'm president. You'll do what I say. That should have gone before the House and Senate to be approved. He says, "What? We're building it." Yeah, he keeps saying it's, private donations. Bullshit. There aren't that many millionaires and billionaires out there that are going to, finance that. Christ, the way they're going, it's already over budget. And they haven't even poured the floor. There were more important things that needed to be done. Not to mention, with gold this and gold that, gold this and gold that. Talk about somebody that's got a precious metal hang up. Yeah, right. The taxpayers are going to end up paying for it anyway. Because the money, the way that it's going right now, the money's are running out. I'd like to know how much his buddy Elon donated. You don't hear too much about him anymore since he came in and bulldozed just about every government office. Office of Government Efficiency. All he did was put a shitload of people out of work, put them on the unemployment rolls. That's like I'm watching, different YouTube things today, and an ad will come on, like for a flashlight. Oh, the government is going to ban the sale of these flashlights, so you better order them now. Or the government's going to ban the sale of this underwear. You better order it now. The government's going to ban the sale of rubber bands. You better order them now. Oh my God, I'm tired of hearing the government's going to ban this and ban that. The government ain't going to ban none of that shit. Just to scare you into buying a product. Oh, this cigarette lighter, the government's going to ban it. You better buy it. Then after Christmas, there'll be a big sale. We're overstocked on these lighters, so. And then this new tool company that seemed to pop up out of nowhere, this Vivor. I see more ads for Vivor this and Vivor that and Vivor this. Where the hell did this company? What are they? Who are they? Where are they out of? Got to be China. But I'm seeing more ads for Vivor. Never heard of Vivor. So, Kathy, when is the next basketball game? So we can cheer on the troops. Did you apologize to your granddaughter for me ruining her dinner the other night? I didn't mean to. Well, I've already gone through a half a dozen pickled eggs. So Tuesday or Wednesday, I'm going to hard boil another dozen and make some more. God, are they good? Oh, man. Yeah, I've been eating one a night. Believe me, I could eat the whole jar, but now that they're so damn easy to make, I'm going to be doing them on a regular basis now. Providing my next batch of hard boiled eggs peel the way they did. I usually play every Saturday. Okay. We'll have to keep that in mind. Yeah, I think either Tuesday or Wednesday, I'm going to do another dozen eggs, and we'll see if it was a fluke that all 12 peeled perfect. But I'm going to do it the same way. I'm going to take the eggs out of the fridge 3 hours because the other one sat out 3 hours, got to room temperature. Because the dozen eggs that I have in the fridge right now are 3 weeks old. So they should be old enough. I'm going to do it the same way. Rolling boil. Drop them in gently. Then bring them back to a boil. Take them off. Cover them. Let them sit. Then shock them in the ice water. Leave them sit for 15, 20 minutes and then see how they peel. Yeah, don't remind me, Ron. I'm still trying to find a goddamn calendar. I want one of them desk blotter calendars. I called Staples today. They're out. I said, "You're out?" "Yep, sold them all." Because that calendar's got the big squares. That way it hangs on the wall behind my dresser, and I can write in all my appointments. Gee, I'm going to have to bring that computer in here. Well, I'll test it out in the living room. And then I'll bring it in a couple of days before New Year's Eve. That way we can watch New Year's Rockin' Eve or whatever we watched last year until till the old ball drop. Something happens when you're a senior. The ball drop. Uh-oh. I hope 2026 is a lot better than. Is that who we watched last year? I can't believe we watched him. I don't care for him. Mainly because he got his job by, I can't remember who his mother is. God, I was just reading an article the other day about but he comes from money. Because I don't really think he's that great of a newsman. I really don't. Yeah, that's why I say around this year we don't want repeats of last year. That's right, Gloria Vanderbilt. Yeah. That's how he got his job. Because he isn't really a talented news person. Yeah, I should have remembered that because I was watching a documentary recently about all the goddamn mansions that they built. The Vanderbilts. Yeah, a mansion here, a mansion there, here. Yeah, we don't want to repeat. While you're sitting there, Ron, unbox that air compressor and let me know what you really think of it. I mean, you really won't know until you go out and inflate tires. But it's an amazing little unit. It really is. Oh, I got delivery of my new antenna for the car today. I have to remember when clearing the roof that this antenna is only mounted with double stick tape. Don't take the broom and go across the roof like I did. I started pushing the snow off the roof and I heard snap. Oh, shit. So I ordered another one. I have to wait till the weather warms up a little bit so I can install this one. This looks a lot better than that little spindly antenna I had sticking off the back of the roof. It has a cable inside that screws to the antenna mount. Come on. Yeah, this screws to the where the old you unscrew that spindly antenna, then this screws in, and then you have double stick tape and it sticks down on the roof. Looks kind of cool. They call them a shark fin, and it's carbon fiber looking. But yeah, the first big snow, I get out there with the garage push broom. And where did I start? At the back window. I heard snap. Oh no. I only had the thing on there like a week. Yeah, I'll tell you what. It amazed me how fast it pumped up that flat tire in the truck because it was down all the way, and I just set it 34 pounds. Done. And when I looked at the battery meter, it still had 70% left. And Marianne had filled all four of her tires before me. And like I say, come next month when I get my unsociable security check, I'll be ordering one. Oh, Ron, you're not into toys like I am. Oh shit. I'd have been using that tablet like crazy already. And same thing with the compressor. The day I get it, I'll be out airing all the tires up. Okay, truck's done. Over to the Passat. I'm like a little kid when it comes to toys. That's why I say I can't wait till the camera gets here. Can't wait to go pick up the new microphone. And I have to go through my boom mounts so I can get it all official looking. Yeah, I was reading all about it today. It's gonna be cool. Mainly because, like I say, 2/3 of it is all LED light. Why am I getting static here now? There was a plug. I guess I'm going to have to buy a new cable. I was getting static. I did a little bit of light adjusting today. The lights are blending a little better. The blue into the red, and then the blue up in this corner and the green down in this corner. Trying to make it look Christmassy. Minor surgery on stuffed animals. Okay. What were they like, falling apart? Or did you make little Christmas outfits for them? Knit a little ugly Christmas sweater for one of them? That's what you got to do, Kathy. You got to crochet some ugly Christmas sweaters for the stuffed animals. Matter of fact, my buddy was telling me today his daughter is on a mission. She's trying to find the ugliest Christmas sweater she can because their office has a contest. Who has the ugliest Christmas sweater? I didn't know you could go to like Target and say, do you have any ugly Christmas sweaters? Basically, back growing up, if we would have saved our grandparents' ugly Christmas sweaters, they'd be worth a fortune today. I guess that's a big thing now. Ugly Christmas sweaters are making a comeback. Man, I remember the hideous ones from years ago. Holy shit. I'm going to have to ask his daughter what what is the prize you get for having the ugliest Christmas sweater? Yeah, he said she was going to Kohl's and Target and Walmart and ugly Christmas sweater shopping. I said, hell, she should go to Goodwill. Although I'm sure everybody is going to Goodwill looking for an ugly Christmas sweater. I had one. I think I got rid of it. I had one years ago. I think I got it for a gift. I never wore it. It was like, oh, Jesus. I think it sat in the box for years. I think I finally donated it to St. Vincent's or Purple Heart Veterans or somebody. Yeah, because I don't know what we were talking about. And I heard his daughter say, well, I'm off sweater shopping. And I says to him, I says, what's the big deal that she had to let you know she was going sweater shopping? He said she's going ugly Christmas sweater shopping. I was like, oh, jeez. When you walk into Target and you go, okay, where is the ugly Christmas sweater department? Although I'm sure they probably have a department with ugly Christmas sweaters. Everybody wants one today. That's what I told him. I said, Goodwill's out in North Olmsted. They probably have a bunch of them. If you don't mind a few moth holes in them, you know. Yeah, she wants to win the contest this year. I wonder what the prize is. A week off with pay or a Visa gift card. You could make some good money, Kathy. Start in January and start crocheting a whole shitload of ugly Christmas sweaters. And then come November next year, put them on eBay. People would appreciate them more. Handmade. You could probably knock out a sweater in a week. God, like that Afghan my cousin made for me. I couldn't believe she said 7 days. 7 days crocheting in front of the TV set. I'm going to have to bring, I forgot. I'll have to take it out of the box. It's gorgeous. It really is. And warm as hell. But see, what I have to do is I put it on the bed like a bedspread, and then I have to cover it with a sheet so that Boots don't get his toes stuck in it. He'll destroy it. I know last year, where the hell was I? I think Dollar Tree. One of the women had a Christmas sweater that lit up. It was like a hideous looking Christmas tree, and it had LED lights in it. She's walking around, all the lights are flashing on the Charlie Brown Christmas tree. Yeah, you could make sweaters like that. Batteries not included. Who would have thought that tradition would come back? Although I'm sure there's probably a whole shitload on Amazon. And if you're a Prime member, you could have it tomorrow. Yeah, I used Prime a couple of times last year when Amazon had that join for free for 30 days. So I joined. The next day I ordered something. It came overnight, and then I canceled the Prime membership before I got charged for it, which I'm sure a lot of people did just to take advantage of the overnight delivery. So tomorrow I will find out. Well, I know what my podiatrist is going to say. He's going to send me for a shitload of x rays. And then once he gets the x rays, they'll determine how they're going to straighten that toe. But either way, I'm kind of screwed because I won't be able to drive. And there ain't no way I can be without a car. The only drawback to not having an automatic, because if I had an automatic, I could drive with my left foot. You know, there really isn't anything that I need that I have to have like right now. Unless it would be a part for the car. But I can wait. As much as I like getting new items, I can wait. I guess I'm going to be in the market for a new computer because I was going to order a new hard drive for this one with Windows 11, and the computer doesn't have enough specs. So I hate the thought of having to buy another goddamn computer. Well, yeah, Ron, if I was housebound. But I actually, I enjoy going up to Mark's or going up to Save a Lot or Dollar Tree. It gets me out of the house. I get to kibitz with the cutie cashiers. Matter of fact, I got my two favorite cashiers a Christmas present, so I have to go up in the morning for one because she works mornings, and then evenings for the other one. Because I got something for them that every young girl should have. Personal protection. And I have to instruct them, don't put it on your keychain. Carry it in your pocket. I'm sure you know what that is. You know what that is, Kathy? Yep. Especially, like the one, she she works closing. By the time she gets out of the store, it's like quarter to 10 at night. So I got the two of them, but I have to instruct them. Don't put it on a keychain. Just keep it loose in your pocket so that you can take it off of safety and if you ever have to. I would pray that they never have to, but because like I got one of them last year for my buddy's daughter because she was taking night classes at Cleveland State. And the one day when she was getting ready to leave the house, she had it on her keys. I said, you don't put it on your keys. I said, you want it loose in your pocket so that if you need it, you can pull it right away. If it's on your keychain, you're fumbling. By then, it's too late. I thought it was a wonderful gift. But like I say, it's something you carry loose in your pocket. Because if you got it with your keys, by the time you pull your key, too late. That way, I instructed my buddy's daughter. You keep your hands in your pockets while you're walking through the parking lot. And if for some reason you think you might be in trouble, you've got it in your hand immediately. And it's got a little thumb. That's all you got to do is flick your thumb and push. Because I think about a month later, she was getting ready to leave, and I said, "Where is your pepper spray?" And she went, "Right here." I said, "Good." Because you can have 5,000 CCD cameras, in a parking lot. That don't do you no good. Although I couldn't get them in color this year. The ones I got last year were pink. These are black. Don't make no difference. It's what they're for. And boy, I'll tell you what, that stuff would knock a buzzard off a shit wagon. I accidentally set one off. Goddamn car stunk for a week. I had it in my pocket and it was off safety. Pull the thing out of the pocket and I says, "Well, it'll work." Oh Christ! The jacket I ended up throwing the jacket away. I could never get the damn smell out of the jacket. It went off in the pocket. I was like, well, it works. Oh, the car stunk. Oh, God. Worse than if you hit a skunk. And I've done that already. A couple years ago, I was coming through Met Park at night. I couldn't avoid it, and I run the son of a bitch over, and oh my God, did that car stink! I went up to the goddamn store the next morning and bought about a gallon of tomato juice, jacked the car up and spraying the shit out of it with tomato juice. And that's an old wives' tale. Tomato juice didn't do a damn thing. That's all you hear. Well, if you get attacked by a skunk, spray yourself with tomato juice. Maybe it'll work on you and clothing, but it didn't work on the underside of my car. Oh, did that car stink? Oh, Jesus. Driving home with the windows down, I was gagging. Wake up the next morning and It was like June or July. Opened the kitchen window to get some fresh air in. And, I went up the store and got, I can't remember how many cans of tomato juice. Poured them in the garden sprayer, got up underneath the car. Didn't do a damn thing. Went up to the car wash. Took me about 4 days to get that stink off the car. Yeah, I was coming down the park road, rounded a curve, and the sucker froze like a deer in the headlights. And there was a car coming the other way, and I couldn't go into the next lane, and boom. And that was an instantaneous stink. He bobbled underneath the car. I heard him. Looked at my rearview mirror. I was like, oh, jeez. Because originally I thought I hit a raccoon. And then I saw the old white stripe, and I was like, that ain't no raccoon. And then oh, that wasn't a raccoon. I'm surprised you haven't nailed them out there, Kathy. You're out there in wild animal territory. I'm sure you got Pepe Le Pews running around out there. Matter of fact, last summer one wandered through the neighborhood. You could smell him. And it happened to be a hot night, you know. Didn't do any good shutting the fan off. The stink still lingered. Yeah, well, Kathy, I'm going to see how long I can put off that surgery. And try to figure something out. Oh, you got a sick sense of humor like I do. Oh, I love it. Open the car door. Oh, no. Oh, you'll love this, Kathy. Good thing I think fast. Last week, I was where the I was in Family Dollar, and I'm walking down the aisle, and I had gas that day, and oh God, I ripped one that was enough to vibrate the windows in the store. And real quick, I grabbed my cell phone. I went, "Hello, yeah, I'm in the store. I'll talk to you later." And I turned to the woman and said, "I gotta change that ringtone." Whether she believed me or not, I don't know, but yeah, it was like, "Hello." I just went to where it says, "I gotta change that ringtone." Oh, geez. They had no idea who did it. Oh, that's even better. Oh, I love it. I enjoy people that have the same kind of sense of humor that I do. That'd be something I would do. I remember one year I bought a case of goddamn whoopee cushions. And I took them with me everywhere I went. Somebody go to sit down, and I'd slip it on the seat real quick. They wouldn't see it. Sit down. Right away. I didn't do that. I didn't do that. Well, it came from your chair. I can't remember where I bought them. I bought a case of them. They were like, if you bought a case, they were like 50 cents each, and I think there were like 100 in the case. I had them with me all the time. The best one was when I went to a movie with somebody, and I put them on all the empty seats. People would come in, pardon me, pardon me, pardon me, sit down. They're like, I can't remember where I bought them. It was basically the more you bought, the cheaper they were. I'm going to have to. Oh, God, where did I get them? I think I got them off of Wish. Was like one of the last things I ordered off of Wish because I don't order off of Wish anymore. Now that I'm hooked on Temu. Although I'll tell you, I have found some bargains because, everything is all Black Friday, Black Friday, Black Friday. Like when that LED light gets here. I'll show you that thing, that 20-inch amber LED light I bought for the Passat. That thing was regularly $69. I paid, with shipping was like 18. What else did I get? Oh, where are they? Where are they? Here they are. I ordered these I don't know exactly where I'm going to put them. It's one of the big items this year for truckers. They call them watermelon lights. They were two for $5. These things sell at a truck stop for $30 a piece. They're called watermelon lights. They're big with truckers. Oh, truckers love these things. Oh, like that shark antenna, that shark fin antenna. If you buy that locally, that antenna is $25. I got that thing off of Temu for $5.80 or something like that. But yeah, these watermelon lights, oh, the truckers go crazy over them. They're cool. Because I have seen, well, owner operator vehicles like delivering to Family Dollar and that, and they'll have a shitload of these. I don't know where I'm gonna put them on the Passat, but I thought they were cool. Me and my green lights. That's a Jeep. That's mainly a Jeep thing. Anytime I see a Jeep in a parking lot, God, there was one I saw the other day. There must have been 40 rubber ducks on the dash. When you see a Jeep owner, they exchange them, and yeah, it's a Jeep thing. I don't know how that tradition got started, but anytime you see a Jeep, the fucking rubber ducks. As a matter of fact, the girl that lives up the street from me, I noticed the other day she had about a dozen rubber ducks on the dashboard of her. Oh, she got a. Oh, I would love to have that. She's got the Jeep pickup, and it's in white, big fucking monster tires on it. It was parked on the street. As I was coming up the street, the fucking rubber ducks along the dash. I'm going to have to ask her how that got started with the rubber ducks. But it's a Jeep thing. Not saying that somebody with a regular SUV, but it's mainly a Jeep thing. Yeah, because I read somewhere where they exchange them. Because this guy had a box full in the back seat of his Jeep. Anytime he saw somebody with a Jeep, he'd either exchange with somebody or leave one on their Jeep. Yeah, some of the Jeep owners buy them by the case. They carry them with them. Here, have a duck. Pull up next to somebody in a parking lot. Duck you. Sick joke. I couldn't pass it up. Like Grey Poupon. Pardon me, do you have a duck? Sure, but of course. I mean, it's like with motorcyclists waving to each other. It's a camaraderie thing, you know. Anytime you see two motorcycles pass, they wave. If you got a Jeep, you get ducked. Yeah. Then yeah. Matter of fact, I talked to the girl because I was admiring her Jeep pickup. Becky is her name. Matter of fact, her license plate says Becky. That's how I know her name is Becky. But the other day, it was parked on the street. Usually it's in her driveway. It was parked on the street. There were little ducks all along the dash. Because from what the article, you're supposed to order these ducks from somewhere. And you order them with the state name on them. And it's basically like if you go to these Jeep meets, you know, you exchange ducks. I'll give you an Ohio for a Montana. Okay, here you go. But next time I see Becky, I'm going to have to ask her if she knows how this duck thing got started. Of all things, ducks. Ah, better than a chicken, I guess. Hold on. Somebody's texting me. Who is texting me at 20 to 9? Oh. Okay. Hang on while I reply here. Send. My buddy's wife is going to stop by and bringing me a fruit cake. She bakes fruit cakes every Christmas. She makes them little ones. And she does them the way I used to do them. She puts coconut in them. So she's on her delivery mode with fruitcakes. She said, "I got a fruitcake for the fruitcake. Thank you." It was started by a girl named Allison Parliament. Really? Well, how cool. Well, it's a good reason to start something like that rather than it being so. I thought it was just some stupid thing. Very, very nice. Well, it's gone viral, all right, because every time I see a Jeep, there's ducks all over the dashboard. How neat. Kathy saves the day again. Now I don't have to stop Becky. Although I'm sure she would have told me. How cool. Allison Parliament. Boy, what a last name. Very interesting. Very neat. It caught on. Because, like I say, anytime I see a Jeep, I see ducks on the dash. Well, she got something to be proud of. Especially, I'm sure it's gone worldwide too, because there's Jeeps all over the world. Although, I'll tell you, I would have loved to have had one of them post office Jeeps. I thought those were the coolest little things, but you couldn't buy them. The goddamn government, they crush them. When they take them out of service, they fucking destroy them. I would have loved to had one of them little post office Jeeps. Although I wouldn't mind one of the post office little trucks that they have. I don't know why they don't sell them. They used to. God, back in 1971, I went down to the main post office and I bought, matter of fact, it was a AMC Ambassador 4-door. And it was used out in the country to deliver mail, and it was right hand drive. And I would love to have that thing today. The looks I would get driving down the street, people would be like, Ain't nobody driving that car. I think I paid like $200 for it. They had a whole fleet of them. They were all dark blue. It didn't say post office, or they were just all dark blue. And they were four-door AMC Ambassador sedans, but they were right-hand drive. And I would love to have that thing today because it was so rare. Although my post office is getting those new Mercedes vans. And what the post office did, first of all, it doesn't say Mercedes on it anywhere. But the Mercedes Benz grill ornament is covered over with a post office eagle. Because Jasmine had one the other day, and I went over to look at. And same thing on the steering wheel. In the middle of the steering wheel, it's got the post office eagle. I'd like to have one of them. Damn it. All of a sudden my shoulders started itching here. I don't know why. Getting old. Well, I think we'll cut it short because my fruitcake is on its way. A fruitcake for a fruitcake.
But out of that, a new holiday was born. A Festivus for the rest of us.
We know where, right here. All right, everybody. Been another fun night. And we learned something about ducks. Everybody take care. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. And we will meet again tomorrow night. See ya.